Hi everyone, Dr. Victoria Scurbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I think this is my first outside reading of the season. Today is the 3rd of May, and the moon's in Virgo. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I was cleaning up the yard a little bit, waiting for my husband to come and get the little thing that we put all that sort of flotsam and jetsam, and then we put it in the compost pile to make soil. Um, so I'm doing my Virgo thing. But Virgo is also about service to humanity. So maybe I'll do a little bit of that right now. Sounds kind of grand, but this is my way of serving serving the light, really. So I was thinking about I had one of my watchers asked me to take a look at some of the conspiracy theories around COVID, whether it was, developed by the Chinese, or some say it was developed by the Americans, some say it's 5G, some say it's, there's all kinds of things going around it. It's, some people are talking about Bill Gates, some sort of thing with the really rich people. I I do not know. I try actually, quite frankly, not to spend a whole lot of time in that realm, in the realm of the conspiracy theory. And it's not that I don't believe, or I don't think, I should say, because I don't particularly believe in conspiracy theories. I think they're a manifestation of something, which we'll talk about. Hold on, let me just fix this camera. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm not looking in the right direction. That's better, right? Um, but I just want to do a reading on the nature of conspiracy theories. Like, what is the energy behind that? I mean, I have theories, but I want to see what the cards say. And I'm going to use uh, the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. I actually just purchased the book. It's an old book, but I never had the book. I only had the cards. And in a way, sometimes having just the cards is better, because then you can make your determinations and what you feel the cards are telling you without having read the book. That's more of an intuitive way of learning the cards, and certainly a valid way of learning the cards. Sometimes it's just about sleeping with them and looking at them and meditating on them. I used to, when I first started studying the tarot, I would take a card and I would put it under my pillow and I would sleep on it. And if I had any dreams or any thoughts or anything like that, I would just write them down. A lot of times I didn't have dreams, or I had a journal, but I didn't write anything about the card. But I think just being in the energy of the card somehow um, came through me all the same, even though it wasn't a logical thing. I have my moon in Pisces, and so I think I get a lot of information um, through my sleep, and that's why sleep is so important to me, and why I'm so challenged now, because my mother wakes me up, two, sometimes three times a night, and I have sleep disruption. So it's really hard for me to have any dreams at all. But I've always been a dreamer. I've always been either a daydreamer or a night dreamer. They've always been vivid. They've always been in color. And some, and I've always like been a superhero in them. So I don't know if that's ego or what, but I could do acrobatic things if I did. Even at my youngest, lightest, and most limber days, I would have broke my neck. So, all right, guys. So let's ask a question. All right, let's look at the conspiracy theories around the virus. What is this about? Okay. So the first card we get here is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. So this is a tentative steps. And I don't know if you can see, but this guy is walking along land that has been, it looks like there was an earthquake, The very foundations of the earth have cracked open, and now he's trying to delicately sort of take steps, not falling in the chasms. Um, and there's some pentacles there to help him. In this case, he has a pentacle that's sort of allowing him to go over one of these chasms. He has his staff. He's kind of dressed very humbly, like a peasant, and so I feel like it is a way of coping with the unthinkable, a way of coping with the disruption that we're all experiencing. And it's a way of giving yourself it's a step. It's a way of giving yourself a foundation, a foundational step to move over this great change and this great chasm. Okay, let's see what's next. What's challenging that? Okay, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands. Um, Six of Wands is a card of in this deck. It's called Triumph. Okay, um, but it's an energy of overcoming. It's an energy of the challenge here is to overcome the challenge um, and be victorious. So let's see. Let's continue. What's at the root? Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles, and this is about sort of what do they call it? Adversity. This is financial adversity, physical adversity, disruption, change. Okay, I think I understand. So what I just got was that this was actually the virus is actually a response from Mother Earth um, in a way to disrupt our lives because the lives that we were living were antithetical to life. And so these things have to be torn down. And the challenge is thinking that this is something to overcome when it is not actually something to overcome. It's something to experience and move through and create a disruption in our relationship to the planet. How we see her, how we utilize her, how we abuse her. And the other part of this that came through is that conspiracy theories are man's goal. That's not the word. Oh, God, what's the word? I'm going to say goal, but that's not the word that came to me. I just can't seem to find it right now. Man's pride or goal, pride, there's another word, that it's something that man did. That it can't possibly, that man is so important that it has to be something that man did to man. Because that would mean that we don't have control over our environment. And everybody knows that we have control over our environment. Well, we don't. We don't. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, we have the King of Swords in the past. This is purification. The King of Swords is using good judgment. The King of Swords is taking an action based on good judgment. I don't know what that means back there, but let's continue. In the sky, We have the realization card. So this is the waking up. This is the judgment card. So we have an opportunity to wake up to what is really happening here. It's interesting in this card we have a cage here with an apple inside. That reminds me of New York City, the Big Apple, sort of in lockdown. But in this the little the cage is open top, but it looks like it could be a trap to get the mice to go. So one of the dangers that I feel is that we're going to get more caught up with how to protect ourselves and getting all involved in that part of it, and not considering the part of it is if we just had a better relationship with the with the planet. And in the case of us, our bodies are the planet. If we had a better relationship with our bodies and fed our bodies the right food and boosted our immune systems and felt joy and embodied our lives, that uh, we would we would be able to be immune to a lot of this attack, because because part of this has to do with the fact that everything was so out of balance. Let's see what's in the immediate future. We have Dominion. We have the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands. This says to me that there is going to be agreements and pacts. There are going to be some people who have more power than others in those agreements and pacts. And one of the things, one of the theories is that this is like world takeover by what's his name, Gates. But I feel as though that's not really what it is. I feel like he's utilizing what he knows and how he sees the world, and because he has so much money and he's so influential, that he has more influence. So I don't think it's I think like he's trying to do good. Now, whether that ends up being good or whether it ends up being bad is not the issue here. The issue is, what is his intention? I think he's just utilizing what he knows and what he understands to do his service. That's what it feels like to me. I, this is an odd reading. Okay, how it's seen from the outside. Yeah. So this is the conspiracy theories. This is somebody's trying to hurt me. Somebody's unfair practices, and it's not unreasonable to think that, because people are not nice to people. And when profit is king and profit over people, you'll do all kinds of terrible things to people just so you can enrich yourself. Why wouldn't people think that this is something that the people who have everything want to hurt us even more? Why wouldn't they think that? It makes sense. So I think it's a natural sort of a place to go from a mental place, if you want to stay in the realm of the mental, if you want to stay in the realm that man has dominion, right? That he is all powerful and omnipotent. When really man is our human form is a bridge between the divine and the earthly. So we do have a certain amount of dominion over the earthly, but we don't have control. We just need to be a conduit of that. The domestic situation. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Well, this is great because this is evolution, and we started with the guy on foot over these sort of cracks in the earth, and now he's on a horse and he's leaping over even bigger cracks, but he has the horse. And the symbol of the horse and the rider and the horse, the rider is always the higher self, and the horse is our lower animal self. And when the rider has control over the horse, it means that we have control over our lower nature. We have control over greed and avarice and fear and loathing and separation. okay, because we have love in our heart. And all of the knights in the tarot are located in Tiphereth, which is the heart chakra. So that's very comforting to me, because it makes me feel like we're getting it. There's a part of us that are getting it, and the people who are getting it are the people who are home. The people who are staying home, they're getting it. They're understanding the connection with the earth, not necessarily with so and so trying to take over the world. Okay, so we have the hopes and fears as the Queen of Cups. Of course, we hope for nurturance. We hope for love. The Queen of Cups is loving. She's nurturing. She opens herself up. She's psychic. She's one with the oceans and with the feeling nature. So we're hoping for that ease, that sense that you get when you've had a really hard day and you come to your Nana's house, and she makes you a cup of tea with your favorite cookies or your favorite biscuit or whatever it is. That feeling. That's the feeling I get from the Queen of Cups. So it's longing for comfort and ease, but not comfort, because, we want to have a bigger TV, or we want to have a better couch or a better mattress. It has to do with comfort of the connections we have with those that we love. Okay, especially the feminine, the energy of the feminine, and that would be Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is very loving. Um, it's just that we have to see that she's there, and we're not on her, we're of her. And we have to claim that part of ourselves, the physical and the emotional, the feminine side. See the outcome? Okay, we have the Six of Cups. This is called Felicity. In other decks, it is nostalgia. But there's this feeling of being supported, somebody having our back. Um, it is a six, so it's in Tipra, again in the heart chakra, and the emotions. Um, yeah, it's and again, these people are in a house, so it has something to do with having to stay in the house. I'm just going to see if I can pick a major arcana. Okay, so the next card I picked was the Seven of Pentacles. This is about sort of stepping forward, and trying to build and harvest. It's slow going, and it's about pruning what you no longer need in your life so that you can um, move forward more easily. It's going to mean simplifying things. It's going to be meaning letting go of stuff that you didn't think you could let go of, but ultimately that can be utilized either by somebody else or for something else. And then the last card I got is the Sun. Is the Sun. So this is illumination, realization. In the case of this card, organization. So very, very powerful cards. Underneath, we have the Devil card. And the Devil card deals with the sense that the only reality is the physical reality, and we can become a slave to that physical reality. And yet the devil knows the truth that there's things beyond the physical plane. And so it's really um, the Devil card is a 15-6. The 6 is love. So the way through is love. The path is to love. And this is the path between Hod, which is the Mercury Sephiroth, and Tiphereth, which is the Sun Sephiroth, and its solar plexus connecting to heart chakra. So this is a path to bring love into our personal will, through the realization that there's something beyond the realm of the physical. And that's underlying all of it. So, again, this is an opportunity for us to wake up to the fact that we're not just physical beings separate from the earth we live on. We're not spiritual beings that trying to escape the earth. We are bridges between heaven and earth, and that's what we're here for. And this virus has helped us to wake up to that fact by disrupting what is that pattern disruption of the way we were living. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That it had a little to do with conspiracy theories, but I don't always know where these readings are going to take me. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe, and I'm going to get back to yard work.